text on a circle is used very often when creating logos. And so today I'm going to walk through the steps on how to easily create your text in a circle. So I'm going to start by creating that circle. I hold the Shift key to make sure that it stays constrained. Always let go of your mouse before you let go of the Shift key so that it doesn't get into an oval. And while this is still selected, I'm actually going to copy this to the clipboard. So I'm just going to do a Command C. It's just copying this circle to the clipboard, and it's just going to hang out there for a little while until we need it. Now I'm going to go to my Type tool, and I'm going to select my Type on a Path tool. The Type on a Path tool needs to touch your path, whatever it is. So I like to click at the top of my circle just because that's where I want to center the top of my text from. So when I click on this, it fills it with placeholder text, and you can see as it goes around that circle, the text at the bottom is upside down. And this isn't going to work to do all of my text for top and bottom on one path because we read left to right, and the top text needs to read left to right, and the bottom text also needs to read left to right. So I'm going to type my text. Command A to select all. Command Shift greater than will increase my font size. Command Shift C will center my text. And then I'm going to select my selection tool. So with my selection tool, you can see my imports and my output from my text. Where I clicked on the top of this circle started my import. And you can see when I kind of hover over this one right here, there's a little arrow that points to the right. So that's my import. And when I centered it, it centers it on this path. So I clicked here, that's my import. It goes all the way around the circle, and then this is my end port. You'll notice that when I hover around this one, it's pointing to the left. So that's how I know that's my end port. Now, opposite of this is another line that always is halfway on whatever line you have. And I can use this to reposition my text. So whether I'm pulling it left and right, or if I'm pulling it to the inside or the outside of my circle. And so just by clicking this, I can move my text to the top, and I just make sure that this center point is aligned, so make sure that Smart Guide is up there. And now my import and output are at the bottom. Now this isn't necessary, but I do like to pull my import to 9 o'clock and my output to 3 o'clock. It just keeps that text path at the top half of the circle when I have two different ones that I'm using. And it also is setting a point so that I know that my text is centered. So I wouldn't want to just grab this and kind of randomly pull it up like this, because now it changes how that text is centered on that path. So it's also why I use the 9 and 3. Okay, so now I have my text at the top, and now I want to create the text at the bottom. So there's a couple ways you could do this. If I do Command Y, I go to artwork mode. I could take my L, I could, Option drag it out from the outside, and I could draw another circle. But there's a much faster way. Okay, so we're not going to do that. I'm going to do Command Y to go back to here. And remember we copied that circle in the beginning? Well, if I do a Command F, that is a paste in front. And so it not only remembers the shape, but where it was placed on the document. So as long as I haven't moved this circle from when I originally copied it, when I do a Command F, it pastes the exact same circle in exactly the same place. So now I'm going to repeat that same process. This time, I'm grabbing my Type on a Text path, and I'm going to click on the bottom anchor point, and I'm going to type in text at the bottom. And it's the same point size as I had before. I'm going to go to my selection tool, and I'm just going to bring this in. So now I have my text at the bottom. Looks great, except that they don't align. If I would paste in front again, and I'm just going to show this right here, the one on top, the text on the top, is sitting on the baseline, right, and on the outside of the circle. the text at the bottom is sitting its baseline on the inside of the circle, and we want them to be in the same plane. Okay, so I'm going to stroke this another color just so it's easy to see, and I'm going to send it to the back. But then I'm going to select my text on the top, and I'm shift clicking the text at the bottom. And when I go under type, there is a type on a path options. These are different ways that you can have the text look on this path, but it's also available in here. And so here's those different effects. So if I wanted to skew it, and you can preview how it looks. So you get different types of effects on there. We're going to leave mine as rainbow for the default. So right now it's aligning the path to the baseline of the text, which is why we're getting one on the outside and one on the inside. So if instead I would say center, now they're both centered on the path. And my spacing here, you can see, is basically the tracking of that text. And honestly, I won't use spacing. If I want to adjust my tracking or my kerning, I'll just highlight my text and I will go into my character panel and I'll adjust my tracking and kerning accordingly. So that's how simple it is. I'm going to get rid of that little circle, just the magenta one, so you can see. That's how simple it is to create text in a circle.